Hello, traveler. I'm Mathel, and I welcome you to my game room. Guys? Have you not followed me? Did you fall off the bridge? After we dropped it last time? Come! At least Esbern is coming. I thought we went to explore this place.
Wait!
Why are you stopping?
We should be careful here. See these symbols on the floor?
Yes?
Esbern's right. Look like pressure plates.
Certainly are.
Be careful.
Yeah. Well, I'm Dragonborn, and there seems to be a path out of Dragonborn tiles, so let's step only on them.
Once it's safe.
Okay.
Safe. Let's move.
And it also opens the bridge. Interesting functionality, though this may have been purely mechanical. At least had those not been fire traps. Anyway. Who kept this brazier lit for who knows how long? Seriously, who did? The first one weren't here, clearly. What's in the chest? Gold. Modern gold. A Velkin stone. Okay, let's take all of this.
Remarkably well preserved, too.
They still have warm coals too. How? Oh, I suppose since this is open, someone could have just climbed in and lit it refueled.
Here's the blood seal. Another of the lost Akaviri arts. No doubt triggered by, well, blood.
Do you feel like...
Your blood.
Oh, my blood.
Look here. You see how the ancient blades
Try
revered
using your
weave
blood
Cyrodiil?
herbs.
Okay. Let me just poke myself in the finger. That's a really bad idea. I just cut my own tendons. Seriously. Oh, and the brazier is massive. Light up. Seriously, if you need some of your blood, don't cut across the hand. You keep your tendons that allow you to close your fist there. Just poke. Another brazier. This room isn't going to magically light up. And they are not following me. Esbern, come on. These walls aren't that interesting.
Amazing. You can see how the Akaviri craftsmen were beginning to embrace the more flowing Nordic style.
We're here for Alduin's wall, right, Esbern?
Yes, of course. We'll have more time to look around later, I suppose. Let's see what's up ahead.
Since he isn't going there. Okay. If I put on my proper shield, that's barely worse than the armor I am wearing, and I can still enhance these things, meaning they would probably be better. Of course, they put me over Wraith, so let's drop the rest of dragon body parts. I'm still over Wraith. And Dragon Bane is also something I want to take. May static that for one-handed weapon usage. Okay, you have to use the mace properly, but I'm overweight. Then again, this is worth a lot. So, what do I not want? There's no problem, I want everything that I have. I could drop some ingredients or eat some. I have a potion of strength, right? 2 of them for 20, but that's not going to be enough. Potion of strength is 40, which is still not going to be enough. What I am bearing is 33 versus 24. That's going to be worse. 24, 33. Unless it's considered steel, it's going to be worse. Certainly. Helmet 33 versus 42. Worse. Armor 80 versus 83. That might actually be equal. Shield 40 versus 46. I think that would be equal or better. But now I have enough done, so
Let's see the final example of early second era.
We need information, not a lecture on art history.
Yes.
should have just waited with the looting until after he did.
Look, here is Alduin. This panel goes back to the beginning of time, when Alduin and the dragon cult ruled over Skyrim. Here,
Only
the
Skyrim?
humans rebelled against their dragon overlords, the legendary Dragon War. Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is fallen from the sky. The Nord Tongs, masters of the voice, are arrayed against him.
So does it show how they defeated him? Isn't that why we're here?
Patience, my dear. The Akaviri were not a straightforward people.
And that's why
Everything
they
is
failed.
couched in allegory and mythic symbolism. Yes, yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Makes sense.
Oh, yes. Presumably something rather specific to dragons. Or even Alduin himself. Remember, this is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin and his return.
So we're looking for a shout then. Damn it. You ever heard of such a thing? A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky?
Not really, but I could ask the Greybeards.
You're probably right. I was hoping to avoid having to involve them in this, but it seems we have no choice.
Okay, I'll ask Angry.
Right. Good thing they've already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have hoped for. Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third panel.
Oh,
The prophecy which brought the Akaviri to Tamriel in the first place, in search of the Dragonborn. Here are the Akaviri, the blades. You see their distinctive long swords.
yeah, they're katanas. The Dragonbane.
They knew their ancient mission fulfilled, as the last Dragonborn contends with Alduin at the end of time. Are you paying attention, Delphine? You might learn something of our own history.
Alright, let's get out of here while my strength lasts. Though I suspect it won't last long enough. Because I don't have my horse, and the closest settlement would be Markarth. I suppose I will skip until I'm near Marcus, and then I will, well, return to Whiterun to prepare. I'll see you there.
Traveling. Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. You ready to go yet? I can't wait here forever.
I need to ask you to stop. That... Good. Glad we straightened that out.
Damn it. Apparently I can't fast travel while overweight. Which is a big problem because I don't have another potion that would put me under. Wait. Wait, no. I barely do.
You'd best hurry it up.
Wait, what? Why can't I use the carriage?
City of Markarth. Where do you want to go?
I already paid him. Let's pay him again.
Climb and back and we'll be off. When I'm in Whiterun, I always visit the Gildergreen. Never hurts to pay your respects to Lady Kinnereth.
Okay, back to skippage. So my preparations are complete. I have improved the blade's armor. I couldn't really improve anything else other than the weapons I'm not going to use because they are quest items. And I have enchanted it and the boots to have greater protections. This way, whenever someone fires at me with fire, I won't be as harmed. And is that Leek? Has she survived? It is. I'm impressed with her survival, actually. Okay, I'm to go to the Greybeards, so... Well, technically that's an allied fortress. So... I should have fast traveled right here, actually. I don't have to get another horse named Shao. But is there a free bed here? Oh, you're not asleep? Well, it's night, so I will sleep in your bed. Hey, I'm here.
Wind, guide you.
I need to learn a shout to defeat Alduin.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
Oh, just the blades.
The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom.
Dude, your
Have
whole...
you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
No, I would use the voice for what it was created for defeating Alduin.
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
So, does that mean you have turned traitor to Paarthurnax? Does this mean you will fight for Alduin against mankind?
No, not now.
Not until you return to the path of wisdom. Dragonborn, wait. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make.
By learning the voice as a man, you have already made the decision to fight against Alduin.
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice.
Then, why are you learning the voice? I understand why you do not wish to use it against men, but its sole purpose for creation by Kain and Paarthurnax. The sole reason why you were taught it was to defy the dragon cult, the dragons, Alduin.
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
Okay, I'll go speak to him.
You weren't ready. You still aren't ready. But, thanks to the blades, you now have questions that only Paarthurnax can answer.
Okay, why haven't I met him yet?
He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
Okay, how do I get to him?
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
Finally. Yeah, dude, I read the tablets on the way here. They speak about Paarthurnax and Kain teaching mortals the way of the voice, the original way of the voice, not corrupted by Jurgen Windcaller. If you don't wish to use it against men, don't care, I do. I mean, I don't care, but against dragon, it's your job. Perhaps I should have taken resist frost rather than resist fire, but then again, I couldn't have because I didn't have the enchantment in my mind. Okay, why are you walking and not running? Well, I guess because you don't want to run. Dude, I'm looking forward to seeing Paarthurnax. So hopefully he's at least sane and wants to defeat
Path
Alduin.
to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way. Look. Va. Kor.
Lock. Va.
I will grant you my understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well.
I will use it better than you.
Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time.
See you later, Iron Gear. Lock Vatar. In battle. In battle.
Look!
Vatar or Vata? Not sure.
Look!
Hello, goat.
Look!
I was very late to save the goat.
Look!
Oh wait, I need to keep the spell or shield.
Look!
Well, that shot is surprisingly effective against ice wraiths. If I had that when I was hunting the ice wraith for Ulfric, or whatever his lieutenant's name is, that would have been much simpler. I suppose in it being a creature of elemental frost, it being weak to a shout that removes weather makes some sense. Anyway, I'll go. Okay. More mist. At least it's not the mist from Percy Jackson. That isn't visible but makes other things in it invisible, such as monsters. Very helpful for the Masquerade, as it's called in Empire the Masquerade, I suppose. Anyway, almost to the top we are. To the east. Let's see. The east. And let's not fall over. Or down or whatever. Okay, that's some fast wind.
Look!
Greetings, Paarthurnax.
Remyolok. Greetings, Wunderneek. I am Paarthurnax.
Damn your lock.
Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain?
I am Dragonborn, Paarthurnax.
Yes, Vaza. You speak true, Dovahkiin. Forgive me. It has been long since I held Tinvaak with a stranger.
Discussion.
I gave in to the temptation to prolong our speech.
Be glad that the weather itself cannot kill me, for if I spoke too long and it could, I would die. Anyway, I need to learn a very specific shout. A shout that is super effective against Alduin.
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin.
Your Don Shul. Come on, read it. It's Yod.
Understand fire as the Dove do.
And he gives it to me because otherwise I could end up in a situation where I cannot learn it because I don't have an extra soul. I did have an extra soul, but at least I get to keep it.
Now, show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova.
Alright then. Yod!
Ah, yes. Sosedo Vlostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind.
There was the dragon near Whiterun, but I suppose he wasn't very nice to you. Alright then.
So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor, mortal. Even for one of Dovasos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me?
So, blood is literally sauce in Dragon Tongue, the Wazoo. Anyway, I am looking for a shout to defeat Alduin. Supposedly, it has been used at least once before against him.
Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvaak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin.
Of course I do. Yeah, but the Greybeards are traitorous. They didn't want me to come at all.
Yes, they are very protective of me, Bachlan Fadon. But I do not know the Thum you seek, Croesus.
Shame.
It cannot be known to me.
Cannot?
Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons.
A brown note of
Our
sorts.
Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts.
Alright, how do I learn it then?
Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum?
To stop Alduin.
Yes, Alduin, Zebach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn.
So, you are also demigod?
But why? Why must you stop Alduin?
Because I am the only one who can? Like, I'm pretty sure many people want to stop him, but I am the Dragonborn. I am probably the only one who can.
True, but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should.
Indeed.
Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Des, of fate?
You misunderstand. I want to defeat Alduin for my own purposes. Which are to survive, since he apparently wants to ruin the world, or so people say. But I seem to be the only one who can do it.
And so perhaps your destiny will be fulfilled. Who can say? Des Motmahus, even to the dove who ride the currents of time, destiny is elusive.
Because Akatosh is the god of time.
Alduin believes that he will prevail, with good reason.
Or evil.
Rakmul. And he is no fool, ni me. Rinnik Gutnol, far from it. He began as the wisest and most far-seeing of us all.
Began.
But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name throat of the world?
You like the view?
True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues.
To put up a mountain, eh?
Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated.
Unless there are any dragons that survived that long, probably not. Perhaps some Dunmer over in Morrowind may have heard it when they were very young and still remember it now. Anyway, it was using a shout. That shout, right?
Yes and no. Viknus Nikaron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him.
He may have been defeated but not destroyed.
The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin. But this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time.
Oh, and he returned 3 months ago, or perhaps slightly longer. Basically just before Helgen happened, I guess. So that's what happened, yeah.
Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye.
You can't see yours forever.
I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day he would surface.
And it happened in this
Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when.
So why didn't you engage him the moment he appeared? Were you off on the toilet?
Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin.
Oh, Akatosh didn't like what happened to his son.
If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll, back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, With the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it.
Okay. Do you know where the scroll could be at this point?
Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
Okay, I suppose I should ask Esbern or Arnigir, though Arnigir may not actually tell me anything, unless you speak to him first.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way.
My blood. Okay. When I find the scroll, do I just go here and trade from it?
Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation.
The Tid Alliance, I suppose.
Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression.
Alright.
You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir.
Okay, those are the guys who first toppled Alduin?
The first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot Hun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater.
Okay. I don't think he would want to speak about this. Alright.
Dremyolok, greetings.
There is one more thing that I should do on top of this mountain before I end the episode. And that's something I should really do on top of it, because that's the only place where it can be done. Well, there is malachite ore, I don't really want malachite. There is ebony ore, I do want that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But that's not the most important thing. The important thing is the notched pickaxe, which is not a random thing, it's always here. Let's see to the north. And what does the notched axe do? Raises the wielder's smithing abilities. I don't know how much, I suppose I should write it down here somewhere. And does 5 shock damage. The shock damage isn't as important. The important thing is that it's a permanent fortify smithing by number, but it's a slot that cannot be filled with a better artifact for it. So that's that. Normally you cannot do a fortify smithing weapon. Anyway, that's it for this day. I shall save, and in the next episode I shall ask Arngeir, though I suspect he will not answer. Till then, goodbye.